Three, two, one, ghost. Heidi ho, motherfuckers. Welcome to 3, 2, 1, Ghost. I'm your host with the silent G, Kyle, and as always, joined by my pal Natalie. Hey Natalie, how are you? Heidi ho.
Doing great. I like that rendition of Heidi Ho the best so far.
As y'all have probably when you press play, it shows on the title, right? And I hope at this point you'd figure. At the beginning of each month, we try to do an installment in a franchise. The franchise that we're currently doing right now is the Child's Play slash Chucky franchise. We're done with Child's Play movies. Well, unless we want to get to the reboot,
Mhm.
but that's up to you. We'll discuss that off
We'll
camera.
see.
Um, we're talking about the fourth entry, not Child's Play 4, but rather Bride of Chucky.
Hmm.
And this is it. I mean, outside of the TV show, now instead of doing Child's Play 2, Child's Play 3, now it's like the something of Chucky. And it'll be like that for the next few movies. At least the
Yeah, it's
rest of them, I think,
true.
on the way out.
I think this is when the franchise officially shifts from being the Child's Play franchise to the Chucky franchise.
Right. And I think also it shifts from horror. I mean, it was always horror comedy,
Hmm.
right? But it really embraces the comedy a little more. I mean, like Chucky was always funny, right? And he always
Yeah.
had like one-liners, stuff like that. But it it's strange how the movies still framed themselves as very serious horror. Well, pretty
Yeah.
serious horror. I'd say the first one does the best job of that, probably.
Yeah. Well, you get the
Um,
least amount of talking from Chucky as well.
right. And then, as the movies go on, people are like, look, we don't need all this side shit. We want to see
Yeah.
this fucker talk. Make him
Yeah.
do stuff. Make him do serial killer human stuff. We love it.
Yeah.
And here we are. I think this is where I think I think the series fucking unlocks another level, to be honest.
Yeah.
Not saying that this is reflective of what my end boo score would be on this movie in particular, but I
Hmm.
do want to stress the importance of this one in particular because you do have that shift to, I'd say comedy first, horror second.
For sure.
The movies are campy, but this is the most intentionally campy that we've gotten so far. And I think it'll continue this going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. This one's very tonally different. I do still think there's room for seriousness in this one, but
There is some unexpected poignancy. I've made a note of that.
yeah.
And we'll get to that once we get to those plot beats. But
Hmm.
I do think you're right. Um Before maybe I go any further talking about this movie in particular, as you know, with our franchise movies, we've got a set of rules. And we don't just do boo scores. We try
Hmm.
to rank some other things, pick out some other highlights that we like, compare what I like versus what you like, vice versa.
Hmm.
Natalie, can you explain the rules to the audience and really to me as well? Thank
Yes.
you.
So there's only one real rule. The rest of it is all just a list of things to share, which has gotten significantly longer with the introduction of Tiffany. So
Love it.
the only rule is there's no spoilers for future films in the franchise. So if you're watching this for the first time through, hopefully you didn't just jump into Bride of Chucky and you watched the first three films because we can spoil those. So we can spoil Child's Play 1, 2, and 3. And then, of course, we're discussing Bride of Chucky. We're going to share this time, instead of our favorite Chucky kill, it's going to be our favorite Chucky or Tiffany kill. You can only pick one for both of
Okay.
them, or like one with both of them combined, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we're also going to share a favorite quote by Chucky, as always. But now we're going to add, in addition, a favorite quote by Tiffany.
Love that.
Yes, very fun. I think she has a
Things
lot of good
plenty to pick
ones.
from.
Yeah, there's so many
Yeah.
to pick from. They both have a lot of dialogue in this. And you can pick Living Tiffany or Doll Tiffany, by the way.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yes. We're going to share a boo score, as always. And
Hmm.
then we're going to revisit our rankings, which don't worry, I have prepared for you. Our rankings, and we're going to see where Bride of Chucky lands for both of us. And that's it.
you just set the stakes for a very exciting hour 40 to 2 hours. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
I love that. I'm ready to hop into this movie. How about you?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Actually, just kidding. Before we do that, when did you first watch this movie? And tell me
Good
a
question.
little bit of history.
Good question. I saw this in the theater. I don't remember who I saw it with. I was 11, so I was now at the point where like my mom was just letting me see rated R movies by myself. I'm sure you were in a similar situation. It was a lot less guarded at that time. You could kind of just go to whatever movie you wanted. I don't know that my mom would have sat in with me on this one. So maybe it was me and Vinny. Cousin Vinny will have to jog my memory. But I definitely saw this in the theater. I was really excited because I had watched Child's Play 1 through 3 a million times. And this was like a whole new introduction to Chucky. He looked different. There was, a love interest involved for him. So I just thought it was so exciting. And I remember fucking loving this. And I already loved Jennifer Tilly. I don't remember from what, but I just absolutely adore her. And I remember seeing this like beautiful blonde, like goth woman. And I was like, she's a muse. She's amazing. So yeah, I saw this in the theater, loved it. And I think I've watched it a million times since then.
I could just imagine a 9-year-old Natalie just watching Bound, just being
Look,
like,
I think I
what is
had seen
this?
Bound. I think I
And I
had seen
cannot,
Bound.
and I cannot get enough of it.
Yeah.
And what if we threw a doll into the mix?
Well, I think I had seen Bound, and it was like a sexual awakening movie for me as a young
Love
girl.
that.
So that's probably what it was for Jennifer Tilly, because I just absolutely adore her. How about you?
I know this was the first Chucky movie I saw in theaters. Is it the same for you?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This, just like you said, very similar, right? Like, I mean, I remember like my mom like dropping me off to go see Urban Legend,
Yeah.
which also I think came out this year.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it was just, you know, a fucking the rising tide raises all ships, right? So you have the beauty of Scream and everything that came because of Scream.
Yeah.
Not only do you have new franchises that rip off Scream, like I Know What You Did Last Summer, Urban Legend, I don't know, Valentine, et cetera, but
Hmm.
some franchises that were maybe dormant for a little bit. Like I think everyone thought Child's Play 3 was probably going to be the last one because
Hmm.
that one
It
did
had been
not make a lot of
7,
money.
yeah, 7 years.
And it is so far the weakest of the series.
Hmm.
And but yeah, so it's like what, 5, 6 years later, um, we get this. I mean, gosh, of course, even the poster for the movie, very iconic, but still is the Scream 2
It's
poster,
Scream. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I love
And
that.
so seeing this movie, like, and seeing Chucky on the big screen, I was like, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I love these movies, of course. It was just a beautiful time to be alive. It was a beautiful time to be an impressionable preteen.
Yeah. 1998 was lit.
It was
For all
so
of you who
fucking
weren't
lit.
there, I feel so bad for you.
I know. And yeah, so I was just stoked about this movie. I came in with high expectations. Those expectations really were met for me
Yeah.
as an 11-year-old. I was like, this is fucking great.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and then it just so reeks of 1998 too.
Yeah.
So much. I love it.
Yeah, I love it.
On top of it being having this shift, more comedy forward rather than horror forward, as these movies have gone on, Don Mancini, the original creator, has had more influence, more
Hmm.
singular influence over these movies as they go on.
Yeah.
I think he petitioned to direct this one as well, but I guess
Ah,
Universal was like, "We
no.
love you, Don, but let's, we want to bring this back and we want it to work. So let's get a little bit more of an
Oh,
accomplished director,
that's
but
fair.
he's still the sole screenwriter on it.
Yeah, I think he did a great
Yeah,
job.
Yeah, and I think he brings a lot of his flourishes to it. I think his ownership over the character as it's evolved. Um, yeah, I don't know. I love it. So shout out
Yeah.
industry legend Don Mancini, of
Don
course.
Mancini.
This movie is directed by Ronnie Yu. I only know Ronnie Yu for two other movies outside of this.
Oh, I think I only have one.
The first one being, I keep wanting to call it fuck Guardians of Gahul, but that's that owl movie. But it's this movie that really tried, I think, to trick like the Power Rangers crew, or the
Oh,
Power Rangers fans, where it was these, and Ninja Turtles too, because they were these like ninja kangaroo things. Do you have any idea what I'm
what?
talking about? It was this ninja kangaroo
No,
movie. I'm just gonna Google ninja kangaroo movie.
I didn't see it on his IMDb.
Yeah, I just Googled Ninja Kangaroo movie. It's called Warriors of Virtue. And I remember that movie. I've never seen it, but I've seen the VHS box because every time I would go to the local video rental place up the street from my house where I grew up, I'd walk around, I would see it, I would look at it, I'd consider it, and I'd put it back down and say like, nah, this doesn't. I can spot a lemon even as
I've
a
never heard of it.
as an ever discerning 11-year-old, I was like, I don't think this is the right call. I don't think this is it. I'm not doing it. And I would probably just rent, Mask of the Phantasm again or something. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Um, fucking classic. So this movie is directed by Ronnie Yu, who did that movie. And then after this, I guess they were like, hey, you do a pretty good job with two slashers. Do you want to fucking upgrade to prime time? Welcome to prime time, bitch.
Yeah.
And he directed Freddy versus Jason, which
hmm
I don't know. Are we gonna do that? We might do that with our Friday the 13th once we finally run out of those movies. I don't know if we do
It'll
Freddy
take a
versus
while.
Jason. It'll take a while,
Yeah,
but that's not up to us. That's to the calendar gods
it really
who,
is.
frankly, frankly, put too few Friday the 13ths in
Yeah,
every year. I feel like
seriously.
I feel like it should be like one a month.
That feels like it would be really intense for us with how hard we go for Friday the 13th, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean it would still be great.
Yeah, I'll tune into our episode on Friday the 13th, part four, the final chapter next week. So,
Yeah.
so he did that movie. And honestly, I will say this is uh, outside of the first one, this is the most competently directed and most stylishly directed movie out of the four. What do you think?
Hmm. Yeah, it's hard to compare because it's so much later. Like the difference between late 80s, early 90s filmmaking and late 90s is really hard to compare. But yeah, I think he did a great job. I think it's very well directed, especially for how wild of a script it is, too.
As much as I think the second one is perfect, I
Mhm.
think the sequel and the third one definitely have that kind of like workman-like kind of director quality. I
Yeah.
feel like they very easily could have been like TV movie, just because of the quality of them. Um,
Wow.
but I love them, and I think it's charming. It
Yeah.
just puts me right in that early '90s space. I love that. But this
hmm
movie, I just remember watching it and being like, this shit's fucking cool. Y'all
Yeah.
got fucking um yeah, I think there's a lot of those like kind of like lovely like I don't know, stark shots, that
hmm
foreground matching background kind of shots with
hmm
Chucky and Tiffany, often with Chucky and Tiffany. I think maybe
Yeah.
once with Jade and Jesse.
hmm
Um, but yeah. Gosh, speaking of which, all those characters, you've got Brad Dourif, industry legend, of
Of
course.
course.
Back as Chucky, love him.
Killing it in this one.
We also have Jennifer Tilly, industry legend.
Industry legend. Yes,
Can you put like an
absolutely.
extra star on that one? I don't
You
know. I love
you
Jennifer Tilly.
can.
So she's playing Tiffany. Um, I was like thinking, how many franchises have someone that shows up like fucking fourth movie in,
Yeah.
when usually these things are just getting repetitive and like really just it just amplifies the fucking proceedings around them, just
Hmm.
classes the place up
I
and just
know.
makes something that really could have been super schlocky to like something that is engaging and entertaining. And she also manages to do it when she's only on screen for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Um, I was like thinking, I like, or at least someone who has such an importance to the franchise, that shows up that late. The only
Hmm.
comp I could make maybe was like fucking like Tommy Jarvis, because he doesn't
Oh,
show up
okay.
until the fourth one and then is a pretty important character, but
Yeah.
isn't in all of them.
And we'll get there.
Um, the best comp I could come up with is the fucking Rock. Dwayne Johnson showing up, particularly in Fast and the Furious. Like, y'all separately, I've been really encouraging Natalie to watch all of the Fast and the Furious movies, and
Yeah.
you're almost done. You're almost caught up, which is
Yeah.
really
I just finished Hobbs and
admirable.
Shaw.
Love that. So you're doing the spin-offs too. That's good.
Hmm.
Um, I think we can agree, maybe, that yeah, once you get to Fast Five, that shit just fucking goes up another level. I like the other movies,
Yeah.
but and adding The Rock as this protagonist, antagonist, I mean, God, he's cool enough that they give him his own, the Hobbs and Shaw movie, right?
Yeah. He's so good.
Um, he he fucking pushes that shit up. You're just like, you couldn't think
Hmm.
that this could get any better. And then, oh my God, oh geez, you just put that little cherry on top. You're just like, oh fuck. Oh my gosh. And that's how I feel about Jennifer Tilly
There it
showing up
is.
in this movie.
I was going to say, I promise we're not going to talk about the Fast and the Furious now for the next hour.
So I love her in this industry legend, right?
Yeah.
Straight up.
Industry legend.
Also, can I say industry legend? John Ritter, love him.
Oh, yes, of course. He's the best.
Absolute fucking the best. He understands the movie he's in,
He
and I think
absolutely does.
choose on the scenery that he's in.
Mhm.
I wish there was more of them, but
I
I get it.
know. His presence is so big, though, even though he's only in this film for what, like probably a total of like 5 minutes total screen time, really.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
He's a good villain.
he's on the road trip with them
He is
technically
a
for
little
most
bit,
of the
yeah.
time. Let's see. You've got Nick Stabile,
David
who
Stabile.
plays Stabile. Okay, who plays Jesse,
Hmm.
our main protagonist, and our
Jesse.
he's a child,
Hmm.
Natalie.
I don't think he was actually a child when this movie was out. I can check. I can check.
No, but he's supposed to be 17. And I guess,
Hey, Tiffany doesn't mind.
all right, if that's how you
And
want to,
she's
yeah,
supposed to be, and Jennifer Tilly was 40 at the time. So she's older than me.
she's looking great.
Oh, yeah.
Um, you also have a super young baby-faced Katherine Heigl in this movie
Hmm.
too. Before she went on, what was it?
Grey's
Like
Anatomy.
was it Grey's Anatomy? Okay, I was
Hmm.
thinking it was like ER or something. Same
No.
difference. Um, yeah,
Yeah, good,
I'm ready
good
to hop into
cast.
this movie. Yeah, I think so too. Stacked, maybe,
Could be.
and a couple fun cameos along the way.
Yeah, there are some fun cameos.
So I'm ready to hop into this movie officially. How about you?
Officially, yes, let's do it.
So, as we all know from the end of Child's Play 3, Chucky is carved the fuck up and is
Tiny
in
little
many
pieces.
pieces, tiny little pieces. I guess they were like, all right, I guess just put that in a trash bag, lock it up, call it a
Evidence.
day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I like the idea that we're now in a shared connected universe.
Ah, love that they did that with you got Jason's mask and there's like Leatherface's chainsaw. I think do you see Freddy's glove?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think,
very fun.
yeah. And then and Michael Myers mask too, I think.
Yeah, they really went hard with all the evidence in this one evidence room
Yeah.
that we're presuming is in New Jersey,
I know because they need to get to New Jersey. I was totally confused
where they
where they
start.
start.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? They're in New York, somewhere in New York. So they're actually not
Okay.
far.
Okay.
I don't know where Lockport is, do you?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Shout out to IMDb for knowing that.
Yeah.
So we first are introduced to Tiffany because she is calling a cop who has agreed to be bribed to, or paid at least, I don't know, to go retrieve this evidence. So yeah, so you have
Hmm.
him going through these evidence lockers. He grabs the bag. Tiffany's on the phone being like, you know what to do, and don't look in that fucking bag. You know what happens to the cat, right? The curious one. Cu- the curious case of the curious cat. Don't do
I
it.
I like that they introduce her to by her voice. I don't know if that was intentional because you really don't get much of her as a human. You end up just hearing her soon as a voice. So I thought that was kind of fun that you get introduced by her very distinct voice.
I don't blame him for looking because if there's one rule, it's, look, if you're going to be transporting something, you got to know your cargo.
Yeah, you
I would be
should.
like, I need to know what the fuck this is if I'm going to make myself an accomplice to this, right?
Yeah.
So I don't blame him, but he opens up this bag and finds all these pieces of Chucky.
Hmm.
But gosh, before he can even process what the fuck it is, um, his throat gets slit.
She was going to do that anyway, whether or not he looked. She wasn't going to pay him.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
wherever he went to meet her, while he's dicking around looking in this bag, yeah, dude, she just fucking reaches right in, just slits his throat. He's dead. Yeah,
Hmm.
she was gonna kill him the whole time.
For sure.
Um, that Rob Zombie needle drop, hell yeah.
It's like the
Um,
best use of that song of Living Dead Girl ever.
and it's funny because I don't associate that song with this movie.
Oh, really? I
I
do.
associate it with another 1998 horror movie, that fucking Psycho remake. It's on the soundtrack to that
Oh, you eventually we're
in
gonna
that
have to
movie.
get that. You think about that movie more than anyone else in the world.
I had the soundtrack CD
Oh my
of
gosh.
the remake of Psycho
Why?
because one that had
Did it
like the
slap?
score because it slaps. You
Oh, it
had
had
like
the
the Psycho,
score too. Okay.
yeah, yeah, the Psycho score, and you had Living Dead Girl. And I don't know what other songs were on it, but I was like, this is enough. Fucking 13.99. Here you go. Here you go, sir. It probably at the warehouse. Do you ever go to one of those?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's where I bought all of my teen 90s slasher soundtracks on CD. 100%. Just walking up being like, do you have Scream 2 by any chance? And
Dork.
the guy's like, "What?" But
The movie?
I'm like, "No,
No,
I no,
the
I just want
score.
the Everclear song, please." So, so she goes to her trailer, which is the nicest trailer I've ever seen. I mean, not nice because it's spooky, but
It's like the
what a
size
fun
of
trailer.
a house, really.
You got a whole ass bathtub in there. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. She did some like wall knocking down, who knows what. How the fuck do we get that bathroom in there or that bathtub in there?
Good for her. It seems like a pretty cozy situation. Seems like a
Hmm.
nice trailer park.
Hmm.
And she's got to have probably the nicest trailer in that entire park,
Oh, she has
right?
to. Yeah.
Yeah. We never see Jesse's, but I'm sure, 17-year-old, he's probably just dirty rags and
Hmm.
fucking Mountain Dew everywhere, right?
Yeah. Living with his parents. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't think he has parents. I don't know what
He
his
just
situation
orphaned.
is. I think he's just orphaned living on his own in the trailer park. I
Huh.
don't know if he has family. He seemed like he was kind of like this vagabond type,
Could be. Yeah, he's got a van.
right? Um, so in Tiffany's trailer, we've got all of these dolls. She's really into dolls,
So
which
many
is,
dolls.
I don't know if the doll fixation came after she realized that Chucky is a doll, or if she already had that and then it was just coincidence.
I thought about that too. I feel like maybe it happened afterwards as a comfort. Maybe she
Yeah.
feels like she's like connected to him in some way by doing that, since she also has all of his framed newspaper clippings and all that.
This is still early internet, so it makes sense that she learned about this whole doll connection a little later on, right? Because I was like, how come
Hmm.
she wouldn't show up earlier? But it also is kind of explained that like this infatuation, unfortunately, really only goes one way,
Yeah.
which is tragic.
Yeah.
but because she's an absolute catch.
Yeah. It feels very on brand for Chucky, though, and his personality. He's very self-serving.
Consistent, if anything else.
Yes, yes.
So she starts stitching him back together using replacement doll parts,
Mhm.
and Chucky's body is back together. And not only, again, and speaking of another shift, we have this new design for Chucky. Chucky stays
Hmm.
this way for at least a couple movies,
Hmm.
where he's this super stitched up, fucked up version of him,
The
which makes
stapled
sense.
hair.
I love it. And I like it because it's like even watching this one and maybe the one after, I'm not spoiling anything, but like you're just like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. He's like this because of what happened at the end of Child's Play 3.
Hmm.
I guess that makes sense. I don't know if
Do
she
you like this look for Chucky?
I did at the time.
Hmm.
It's not my favorite now.
It's not my favorite either, but it's not my least favorite. I will say
Yeah,
that.
I
I but I
agree.
I think it's nice. It's a nice change because now like the way people react to him feels more fitting because they're like, "Oh, how cute. Like a good guy doll." Like all of them are like, "Oh,
Yeah.
what the fuck is
And
that?"
and one other thing too is like I guess he doesn't really need to be cute because he doesn't interact with any children in this movie.
He doesn't. You're right. This is the first movie that he doesn't interact with any children, which is kind of refreshing that we don't have any children in this movie because I think they found a really easy way to get these dolls into these young people's lives and make it make sense somehow. But I think the fact that they're not interacting with children is so much more fun because they don't have to explain shit. Like they can just go about their agenda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So elsewhere, we are introduced to our teenagers, Jade.
Hmm.
We've got her uncle because her parents are dead.
Hmm. He's also an orphan.
Yeah. So see, it's probably some shared trauma right there.
Yeah.
And her uncle Kincaid, who is the chief of police in Lockport, New York, I guess,
Hmm.
um, and who he thinks is picking her up for prom, David,
Hmm.
who um I like David in
I
this
like
movie.
David. Hmm.
Yeah. I actually I think I just kind of caved into this general idea that the kids or the teens are super annoying in this movie, and that's
Hmm.
what brings it down. But honestly, I don't think they're that bad. But David
They're
is the
not.
best one.
They're not that annoying. I think it's just that they don't get to have a lot of fun with what they're doing. Like what their story is very, you know, they're lovesick teens. They're trying to figure out this situation. But I remember them being a lot more annoying than I did this time around. And it's funny because I think what happened was when I first watched it, I couldn't relate to them because they were older than me. Then, as I
Hmm.
was watching it more around that age, I was like, they're dumber than me. And now that I'm a mother and am in my late 30s, I relate more to Chucky and Tiffany. That's terrible because they're more
Yes.
mature, like more mature in the way that they've been through some relationship shit, so they're kind of watching them like these fucking idiots. So I
Yeah.
I think that watching it, this most recent watch, is the time that I've enjoyed Jesse and Jade's interactions with Chucky and Tiffany the most. Even like outside of that, I think they're okay. But I love David. I think he's definitely the most fun. And I love all the jokes of hints of him being gay while he's talking to Warren is pretty fun.
So I like flowers, and
You don't know
I,
that much about orchids, though.
no, not true. Yeah, that's true. I also love figure skating. As
I
a
do
kid,
too.
I would love watching the Winter Olympics with my mother, watching all the figure skating events.
Yeah.
I was fucking all about it.
That was also lit in the 90s, the figure skating, the
Yeah.
drama.
And I was like, why does that have to be exclusive? What?
Well, he was a figure skater as well. Like he was going to college on a figure skating scholarship. Is that even a real thing? But yeah, that's pretty impressive.
All that wasted talent just splattered all over the fucking turnpike.
Because he didn't fucking look where you're going if you're walking the road. I don't care if there's living dolls.
Yeah. So let's see. Uh, John Ritter does not fall for this.
No, of
Um,
course
he's
not.
like, who is this kid? And then also,
Yeah.
you don't think he would have like ever met David before if they're like such good friends.
Yeah.
The
Or
way
he
that he
would know
spies on
that
her.
David exists. Like he's definitely
Yeah.
seen him before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that very 90s, the bleached tip hair for him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's real good.
Very cute.
Very era appropriate.
Yeah.
So they leave, and this is when we're introduced to the real boyfriend,
Mm-hmm.
Jesse.
Should have met at the
And
dance, idiots.
yeah, just met at the dance.
Yeah.
So fucking dumb. But like I said, of course, John Ritter's already on this.
Yeah.
He's got his, right-hand man officer, who I don't think we get his real name. I think it's just Needle Nose.
I think his name is just Needle Nose. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's convenient, I suppose.
Yeah.
So they go and then just like immediately pull them over, and they have this whole back and forth of like, you'll never keep us apart, when John Ritter shows up eventually to take Jade away, and he's
Mm-hmm.
like, what is this like awkward exchange
Oh, because he says,
where
fuck you.
Jesse's like, you fuck,
Oh, you fuck. Yeah. He says,
and then
but
John
you won't.
Ritter,
Not
but you
Jade.
won't.
Not anymore.
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't, yeah,
Gross. Don't talk about your
Chris,
niece fucking.
yeah, stop it. So poor hormonal boy, his whole prom plan was
Mhm.
just decimated. I hope David was like, well, I still want to dance. I still want to have a fun time.
I hope
I've
he
got the
went.
car. Yeah, let's just go anyway.
Yeah.
Have some fun.
Yeah.
So back at this trailer, um, Tiffany is trying to summon Chucky on this pentagram that she made of sand on the ground, and
Hmm.
using this Dumbala chant. I like one, the Voodoo for Dummies book is
Love
great.
it. Yeah.
Two, I love that this book has, I guess, been around for quite a while, and Chucky
Yeah.
knows it so well that he knows exactly what page number
Yeah.
has it. Love that.
Yeah. I also love hearing Jennifer Tilly recite this incantation. Uh, I think she has one of the best voices I've ever heard. It's both
Hmm.
cute and sexy and perfect, like a perfect match for Brad Dourif too, like to play against him. But I don't know, there's something about the way that she delivers the incantation because the only person you've ever heard say those words are Brad Dourif. And so there's just something really cute about how she recites it and then she thinks it's not successful. So that's fun too.
She, her, you would think she would do more voice work, but maybe
Hmm.
she does. I mean, the only other thing I know off the top of my head is Family Guy. I think
Oh,
she's
yeah.
forget
Hmm.
what character she is on
She's
that.
the
I don't
wife that's always pregnant.
yeah, I don't really watch Family Guy, so I don't know. But
Hmm.
I do like that the tables made for dinner for two. Love that.
Yes, it's
I like
very
that
cute.
she's gonna
They,
sit and have dinner with his doll.
yeah, they also have a nice, like all of the shots inside the trailer are really cool. And this, I think, is the first one that you get like an overhead shot of her with, Chucky laying down on the floor over the sand pentagram and all the candles and, that really great shot of her amazing cleavage. Like it's just that overhead shot is really good. And you get a few of those in the trailer before you don't see it anymore. But I like that as well of this part of the movie.
She does the chant. We don't see any movement from this doll. She isn't sure if it worked. Um,
Chucky's
but
not just
really,
gonna wake up. He's gonna be like, I need to assess this fucking situation. I've been dead
yeah.
for a while.
So before she gets the time to figure out like what I should do next, you got to knock on the door, and you have, I guess, her boyfriend, Damien, who's played by Alexis Arquette, of course, Arquette royalty. Love
Oh,
everyone in that
really?
family. Yeah.
I didn't know that. I just assumed it was a coincidence.
Oh, just the last
The
name.
last name. Hmm.
Oh yeah, Alexis Arquette, Patricia Arquette, and David. And I think
But
there's
Alexis
maybe
Arquette
one other.
passed away.
Yes.
Hmm.
Oh,
I don't know
rest in
how,
peace.
but a while back.
I like Damien.
I love Damien. I think it's so funny that he's pretending to be a murderer to impress her.
Like the sweetest, good-natured goth. And you know, and I
Yeah.
and I put my notes. I'm gonna call out myself. I I think I put like, the sweetest, nicest fake goth. And I was like, you know what? No. Real goth people that I know in my life are so sweet and
I
so
think
kind.
every goth person I've met is like the nicest, most sensitive soul.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and I could just see like just trying to pretend that he murdered somebody. Um, he's very sweet.
Yeah.
So
I wish they would have done a little bit of a better job on his fake ass chest tattoo. It looks very much like permanent
Sharpie
marker
Dawn.
just drawn on. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, as she's talking to him, she turns to the side to look at Chucky again and realizes the fucking body's
Ooh.
gone, Natalie.
That would scare the shit out of me. And she's like turned on.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I'd be like, I need to get out of this trailer right the fuck now and lock it
Hmm.
behind me. But yeah, she
Hmm.
is she is very excited
She's
by this.
excited. Yeah.
And immediately is like, oh, well, I don't need fucking Damien anymore. He can fuck off. I'm gonna use him as bait.
Oh
Get on your
yeah,
knees
she's
and
like,
go look around. Tell me what you find. And of course he's like, he's because he's in love with her and wants to take things to the next level. He's just
in
trying to,
love feels strong. I think he wants to get in that skirt.
well, it can be both.
It can be both. Yeah.
It's one way to show love. So, um, gosh, this doll does show up randomly, does startle her. Um, and she shows it to Damien. Damien's like, "What the fuck is this?" Like, and he knows like it's the Chucky doll. Like, so I like
I
that,
mean, she has those framed photos. Like he knows that she's obsessed with him.
Well, I think there's this general idea that everybody knows this story now about this doll
Yeah.
that's killing people. I mean, I know they talk about it at the beginning of Child's Play 2, or maybe beginning of Child's Play 3, both, I think.
Hmm.
Um, and even he's just like, this is a little fucking goofy. Really? You believe in this? And he
Hmm.
disrespects Chucky.
Ooh, he disrespects Chucky real hard. And it, I remember when I even seeing that as an 11-year-old, I was like, fuck, you do not do that shit to Chucky. Mm-mm.
Don't do that. Don't do it to any of your dolls because it's weird. And then two, like, yeah,
Yeah.
I was surprised the death wasn't more brutal
That's what I was gonna
because
say. I
you have
think
that extra level of
he went
disrespect.
easy on him, really. The lip ring pull,
Yeah,
though, is pretty
very,
intense.
yeah. So, of course, Tiffany's like, I got a better idea. Remember how you said you wanted to fuck me? Go change,
Yeah.
I'm gonna handcuff you to this bed. Let's get weird.
Mhm.
Um, and she just sits Chucky on top.
But you
Well, she
remember when we talked about Puppet Master, we talked about this. We need one hand free.
always need one hand
He lets
free.
her lock up both hands and both feet.
Nope,
And
nope, nope, nope.
you know this bitch loves murder.
What? And she brings up, like, how about a little menage a trois? And that's written in response to what did he say? Like, have you heard of a French orgasm? Like,
Oh, because
la mort petite or something like that, the little death.
yeah, the little death. Yeah.
Oh, because he's like the little death. Well, Chucky is.
Yeah, he is. How
I
cute.
love that. Um, yeah. And you mentioned it. Yeah, with the lip ring. Just if you're gonna
Oof.
see excessive piercings in a horror movie, just know that shit's getting ripped
It's
out
getting ripped
eventually.
out. Yeah.
Ugh, no, 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 no. Yeah, just
Hmm.
right out of his fucking face.
Yeah.
That's hard.
It's the only
Ugh.
time I rethink the piercings that I have. I'm like, oh God, what if like somebody did brutally murder me? Like, would they be ripping these rings out of my face? Ugh.
Yeah. Ugh, no,
Yeah.
thank you.
Mm-mm.
So, Chucky is, the Lakeshore Strangler, right? So
Yeah.
I guess He does suffocate him, so it counts as
Consider that kind of strangling. Yeah.
strangling adjacent, I think.
Hmm.
Still same means to the end or so forth.
Yeah.
I don't know. But he puts that pillow on top of him and just smothers him.
Mhm.
Um and then
I like their interaction.
this is the first exchange. I was like, the delivery is so good. I
It's so
almost
good.
wanted this to be my Chucky line when he just goes,
I
"Hi."
Yeah. Like, because he's like, I haven't seen you in a while, and I know you've been looking for me.
Hi. He's just like this fucker's up to something. He's a naughty little fuck.
Hmm.
I love it. But yeah, this exchange, it's so good. There was another exchange between Tiffany and Damien earlier when he's trying to like show off that he killed this
Yeah.
person when he brings this photo
Hmm.
of the dead guy. I just loved where she goes, "What is it?" And he goes, "You mean who is it?" And she
Yeah.
goes, "Okay, who is it?" And then he goes, "You mean who was it?"
Yeah.
I don't know. That exchange was really funny to me.
I like
And
that
it,
too. Yeah.
and again, like I think this movie is all just immediately much funnier, even this
Yeah.
first 20 minutes than any of the other movies.
Oh, for sure. The humor, everything in this sequence with Tiffany in the trailer and Damien and reintroducing Chucky, it's all so good. It's very well written and it's very fun.
And the fun doesn't maybe last too long for Tiffany, because she has plans. She's like, look, I set up a playpen for a
But
little
wait,
half doll child.
you passed one of my favorite parts.
Uh-huh.
When she's carrying him out of the room, she's like in that lingerie, so her boobs are all pushed up, and Chucky just keeps rubbing her tit, and she's like, "Stop it!" The way that
Well,
she says it too, like she like slaps his little hand, and you could just see, I could just picture the guys who control Chucky just rubbing Jennifer Tilly's tit with his little rubber hand.
well, and then just that coupled with like Brad Dourif going like,
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
that's awful. Um, she's like, hey, get away from there. But let me show you. I've got a
Mhm.
playpen built for our little half human, half doll child.
Mhm.
Um, and that ring that I found in your apartment after you died, I knew you were going to give it to me.
Mhm.
Hell yeah, Chucky. I say yes. Let's get
Oh,
married.
she's
And
so excited.
oh no. And then just Chucky's just a fucking dick to her from the
Oh, he's
get-go.
so bad.
He laughs at her. He's like, I was going to fucking hawk that fucking ring. Get the fuck out of
Yeah,
here.
he's like it's worth 5 or 6 grand easy, and that I mean he's probably doing 1990 like 1988 pricing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Um, so she's like, I knew it. I like that she got this far. She's like, I'm gonna go as far as to reanimate this doll,
Obsessed for
and
years.
he's gonna be a dick to me in like 5 minutes, and I'm gonna be like, I should have learned, I should have known. My mother was right. Love is a prison, etc., etc. I forget what she says, and she's like, fine, fuck you, motherfucker. Locks him in this playpen. I like that the playpen has the ability to be locked from the top, so
I
no
had
one
a
can
note.
escape.
I had a note about that because I was like, did she do that as a just in case Chucky fucks her over, or did she do that because she was going to be a terrible mother?
Well, if
Or
we
both.
not to spoil too much, but when that eventual baby comes, yeah, you need a roof on that thing because it's
Yeah.
dangerous.
Yeah,
So,
I think what I like about this immediate shift, like so you have, you know, when you're thinking about this, you're like, okay, it's been 10 years since Chucky has died. So she's been pining over him, obsessing over him, probably looking for this dead doll body this entire time, learns this ritual through her voodoo for dummies, and is prepared to bring him back so that she can marry him. And then immediately he says the wrong thing, and she, like a switch, is like, you never change, whatever it is. I like this because in any other relationship, it wouldn't work. But for them, it's so perfect because the entire movie, they go back and forth between being completely in love and then being enemies. And it's because they're both super unstable serial killers. So I really enjoy this immediate shift. And then she's just mean to him. She's picking on him and all of that. But then she ends up like falling back in love with him. I really like this toxic relationship between Chucky and Tiffany.
I think Tiffany could have very easily been a Harley Quinn type
Yeah.
who, sure, psychotic, murderous, or whatever, but like always doting, you
Hmm.
know. I mean, not until like maybe later. I know there's been some storylines where she learns like fuck off Joker, but there's also that really great animated comedy with her. It's on HBO. It's so good. Um, I think it's just called Harley Quinn. I forget.
Is it the
So
one where she's with Poison Ivy?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
really fun. A lot of great comedians do like the voices on that.
Hmm.
And but what I like you said, what I really like about Tiffany is that like she dresses him down quite a bit. Even as a doll, as herself, she
Hmm.
is constantly fucking putting him down, or she's in love with him. It goes back and forth. And maybe a little bit with Chucky too, as the movie goes on. We're like, Chucky maybe does have maybe some feelings for her. Not really.
Hmm.
It's hard to say. I think
He
there's like
does.
there's a little bit in there.
I wonder if it's out of just his own narcissism, though, that because she feeds that, so she makes
Yeah.
him feel good in that way, like the way that she is with him, because it feels like it does feel like they both have the ability to love, but they love differently.
And I mean, he could have not done this chant on her to keep her alive in this doll body. He could have just
Exactly.
killed her. So,
Exactly.
but
He wants her around.
that also might be the narcissism and the control part too.
Uh-huh. Yeah. It can be
Yeah.
both.
So,
I think it can be both.
but before we get there, she locks him in the little playpen, and I love the shot of her just going to bed, just weeping, with Damien still just like lying there dead, handcuffed to the bed.
Yeah.
I love
She's got
that.
her little like bear.
She's like, I do need to get rid of this body eventually, though. So the next
Yeah.
morning, she's got him like shoved up like in a trunk and is ready to put him in the back of her car. Of course,
Hmm.
he's too heavy. So luckily, her neighbor, you know, shirtless
Hmm.
teen Jesse.
Hmm.
I know
Yeah.
Natalie was watching that, being like, "This is it."
Yep. I
Yeah,
was like, that wax chest.
yeah.
Yeah, I was in love with this actor for sure.
He's like, sure, ma'am, I can help you lift your heavy thing and flex my muscles for you,
Hmm.
but I've got a girlfriend, so I'm taken. Yeah,
And
she,
he's got like a
he,
weird hot neighbor. Like you could flirt with her a little bit and just leave it.
I would,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, well, flirting's okay. That's all right with a neighbor.
With that
So,
neighbor, yeah.
and but he is underage though, and she's like, "You want to get a drink? You want to see what happens?"
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
She's
that's
going
not
for it.
okay.
Maybe he's 18. We don't know he's underage because if he's living on his own, he might be a little older than Jade.
Maybe. I mean, you can be emancipated and I think
It's
live
true.
independently under the age of 18. I'm not sure what his situation is. The movie, I think, wisely doesn't bother to
Yeah.
go into it.
It's prom time, so he could be 18 and Jade could still be 17.
That's true.
Hmm.
So she goes back into her trailer after he helps her out, and she has a package herself that she shows off to Chucky. You're just really tempting fate doing this.
Oof.
I didn't think that was a wise move because she's like,
No.
"Hey Chucky, hey little fuck, guess what I have?" Opens this box and it is a doll of a woman dressed as a bride.
Hmm.
And
She's
I
using
don't
baby
know.
voice on him and everything. Like and
Yeah.
he's like snarling at her. I just don't know that I would fuck with him that hard.
Putting the little blocks together that says I'm gonna fucking kill you or whatever.
I love him
Um,
playing with the toys.
all the crayon drawings of all the
Yeah,
ways he's gonna kill her.
the like spelling toy where it says spell woman and he spells bitch.
Not nice. Don't
I
ever call
love
a
that
woman
so
that.
much. That's what I love about Chucky, though. He's just an absolutely fucking awful person.
So he puts this bride doll inside this playpen cage and just laughs at him. And just like, have fun with your
Mhm.
fucking bride, motherfucker. I don't know. Like she goes to run a bath and
Would you
I
be able to relax?
I just wouldn't take eyes off him even
That's what I
once.
was thinking. Don't take eyes off of him or like check on him every fucking 5 minutes.
Just go kill him
Putting a
or look at
movie
that
on.
or go to
Mm-mm.
page 219 in that book of like, hey, how to
How
get
to
this fucking spirit to go away, how to undo
unsoul
this.
this doll.
Yeah, I don't know. So, but maybe again, she wants to watch him suffer. She wants to
Mhm.
have that control back over him.
For sure.
It is a little short-lived.
Yeah.
That does sound really relaxing, running a bath and just watching Bride of Frankenstein,
She's
doesn't
got
it?
some wine. Yeah, I love it. I love that she's watching Bride of Frankenstein. She's like so into it, like crying. She is having a little fun though when she's watching the news and they're talking about the police officer being dead and then
Mhm.
Damien's murder and she's just kind of like having a good time watching that. But then yeah, I love her in the bathtub with her wine, her cute little like shower cap. Like she just looks so cute in the bathtub.
I I love I don't know if it's specific to 90s, but I do love the trope of just very conveniently timed TV news reports carrying the plot along.
Yes.
Because there's a lot in this movie,
Yeah, they don't do that anymore because no one watches the news that way. But
right?
I really like this the like the look of the scene and the set again. Like everything in this trailer is just so like visually cool
Yeah,
to look at. And the shot of Chucky looking through the shower curtain is real fun too.
love that. Little psycho a bit
Hmm.
too. Um, yeah, he breaks out very quickly. Don't take eyes off him.
She gave him a
Drags that,
sharp object with the ring. What are you doing?
yeah. He goes immediately grabs a knife from the kitchen, drags that doll body with him.
Oh my God.
Um, charges the bathtub. They have kind of a back and forth for like half a second, but he pushes
Yeah,
that TV she's watching right into the bathtub.
smart.
And yep, yeah, she's dead.
I actually looked up to see if that could kill you because I wasn't really sure if that was just a movie magic thing, but you can die from electrocution if a TV falls into the bath. Science says it's true. The internet told me so.
That makes sense. I'd believe that
Yeah. I just
100%.
wasn't sure if it would like short circuit quickly. But I think if it's plugged into a wall, that keeps the current of electricity going versus if you had like something battery operated, it would probably just like shock you and then die.
I was trying to remember what Joan Cusack threw in the bathtub in Adam's Family Values,
What was the oh, toaster, right?
and I think that was still plugged in. But Fester lives, but
Of
that's
course,
just
he
because
loved it. Yeah, he was like, oh, newlywed games.
he's horny for electric shocks.
Yeah.
It's gross. So Tiffany's electrocuted in this bathtub. Chucky wastes no time. He's doing the Damballa ritual,
Hmm.
and it works.
Hmm. The
Dang.
animatronics on Tiffany, like her face, but I mean, even before pre-makeover, like the Tiffany doll looks really, really good.
Yeah. And she's pissed.
She's furious, as I would be too. Oh my gosh.
Chucky now explains the rules to her. Basically, here's what we need to do. There's only one way we can get out of this. And apparently, you can do all of this chant without the amulet of Damballa.
Hmm.
But to get someone back in a human body, you need this amulet to do it.
Yeah, which is a new rule.
Yeah. I mean,
Mhm.
they're always adding new rules with these
Yeah.
movies.
I mean, at least it doesn't go too far. Like it actually does make sense, but Chucky didn't need it when he was trying to get into Andy or Tyler.
It's just this need to you're
Drive the
MacGuffin,
plot.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he also says that amulet, I'm fairly confident, is on my body, my real body, Charles Lee Ray's
Mm.
body, which they were very kind to bury him with his jewelry
I
and
know.
move him to his hometown in Hackensack, New Jersey, even though he died in
Mhm.
Chicago. I would just, I mean,
He's a serial killer. Who the fuck, like,
Yeah,
who did that? Who arranged that for him?
I guess everybody gets like their rights and such. I would just think that like if some serial killer's body,
Who
he'd
paid for
just be
that burial and the the tombstone?
yeah, like does he have a family? Like who was doing this? Was there a
Fun
ceremony?
Fun fact, on his tombstone, I read this on the World Wide Web. On his tombstone, the date of his death is the release date of the first movie.
That's cute.
I thought that was kind of fun. A little fun Easter egg.
So they're like, we need to get to Hackensack. Of course, we've got little legs. How are we gonna get there? We can't scurry about. That'd be far, just way too far.
Yeah.
And also, we can't drive a car. So what can we do?
Hmm.
Tiffany's like, I know a shirtless dumb asshole who will do something if I ask him to do it.
Yeah.
Give me
Use
just a
that
moment.
money. Yeah.
Um, gives Jesse a call. Don't get me wrong, when I was 17 years old, $1,000 seemed like that's life changing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when you're 17, it is. Um, but this makeover for Tiffany,
Yeah,
from her like wedding look to her Tiffany look, is it's the best makeover montage ever in a movie I've ever seen. I absolutely love it. Like the little girl in me, every time I watch it, is like, I need to do this to all my dolls.
I
All
love
my
that.
Barbies need to be goth now.
All need to have black leather jackets and
Black
boots.
lipstick, put a little beauty mark.
Love that. And then, the Barbie eat your heart out line,
Very
of course,
cute.
classic.
Yeah, big in the trailer.
Yeah. She makes this deal with Jesse of like, hey, I'm going to give you half, $500 now. You need to take us to a cemetery in Hackensack, New Jersey. Don't ask questions. Don't even worry about it.
Hmm.
I need you to take these dolls over there. And once you get there, I'll give you the other 500. And he's like, yeah, this is life-changing money. Sure, let's do it.
Yeah,
And worst comes to worst, I got $500. So that's pretty good.
exactly.
Right. So he comes over to pick up these dolls. I do like they're just kind of set up and he's got the little note in his hand. I like that once they're dolls, like this idea that like dolls are also children, because it's like, why do they all, like why do all the notes have to be in crayon now?
Yeah.
You know? It's like you could have just you had no other pen in the house.
Yeah, you
Like
could
you
have
could
just
just
wrote
write a
it
note
normally.
like an adult. It just has
Yeah.
to be with a little heart and crayon and shit. Um, so he picks up these dolls, throws them in the van, and he's like, I'm off to Hackensack. One quick stop though first.
Of course.
I'm gonna go propose to my girlfriend.
Because I got a
My
thousand dollars. I'm about to rock her world with it.
I love how much, I mean, even in 1998 money, I love how confident he is and how far that $1,000 will go.
$1,000 for a deposit on an apartment.
We're gonna do a yeah, not deposit on an apartment, and don't worry, I'll just find a job somewhere. Who knows? That's gonna get
Hmm.
you through college. It's all gonna work.
Yeah.
Just run away with me. And of course, she's like, I live in a mansion, bro. Have you seen this house behind
Yeah.
me?
She lives in a mansion.
Dang. I'm like, let's.
Like Warren would at least make sure that she goes off to college so that he's not embarrassed by her. So she's like so close to freedom and privilege, she can taste it. But she's
And she,
slumming it with hot ass Jesse.
the heart wants what the heart wants, I suppose. And she's like, let's go pack. Let's do this. I'm on board. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Um, David, who was there at the time consoling her when Jesse came by to pick her up, he's all
Hmm.
about it. He's like, hey girl, fucking follow your heart.
Yeah, go
Um,
for it. I do like that while Jesse is giving his whole speech and declaration of love, Chucky looks at Tiffany and does like the jerking off gesture.
he's like, this fucking guy,
I
like, get
love
the
it
fuck
so
out of
much. I
here.
was like, Chucky is he's so fun.
Tiffany's just eating it up. She's like, this is
Hmm.
this is beautiful and this is romance. Get the fuck out of here with
Yeah.
that. Um, you also, again, you get this really sad story from David, when he's consoling
I
Jade
know. They
and
do a little
talking
character
about
building with him.
and talking about a boy that he was in love with and was in love with
Mhm.
him. And, it was just, just awful fucking just homophobia. It doesn't get any better in the next few years.
No,
Um,
it doesn't.
but I don't know. You're just like already, like just that, I was just like, see, like I like David. He's funny. He's got like a little bit of depth. You can tell he's got some sadness, and then I don't know. Like, and
Hmm.
and I do think, I probably makes sense, like Don Mancini being a gay man himself was like,
Hmm.
let me put in a little bit of depth to this character. Cause like at that time, it's like, what gay characters were you seeing in these sorts of movies that
Hmm.
weren't where the sexuality wasn't just like kind of played as a joke? And like, don't get me wrong,
Yeah,
it is a little bit at the beginning and the
it
interaction
is.
between
Yeah.
him and John Ritter, but that's why I think this scene and then him just being helpful
Yeah.
and being
He
kind of
knows both
smart.
of
I don't
them.
know.
Yeah, I think he's pretty smart and he knows them both very well. And he's thinking more logically than they are, even though he is giving her bad advice to go off with this poor boy when she lives in a fucking mansion.
But he's heartbroken. So he's like, hey, fuck, you
Go
got
for
your shot,
love.
go for it. Yeah.
Hmm.
So shout out to David. So while everybody's packing, getting ready to get Jade with them to go, fucking Kincaid, he already knows what the fuck's going on.
Hmm.
So he's sneaking up and he's planning to plant marijuana in this van.
Shocker.
And then call his needle nose buddy to,
Hmm.
fucking like really like I mean, hey, fuck Kincaid for doing this. He's an
Yeah.
asshole. But you get one of your more interesting deaths here. Um, Chucky and Tiffany, they're like, hey, look, this is gonna be a long car ride. Let's get our feet wet a little bit. Let's get something to tide us over. Let's
No, they're
kill this
like this.
motherfucker.
No, they're like, this guy's gonna fuck up our ride. That's why they kill him. Logistics.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, you're right.
He's gonna cut off the road trip. I actually think this is one of the most, well, there's a lot of scenes that are really good in this, but what I like about this specific scene is you never get to see Chucky planning or plotting or, he's always a solo killer. And now you enter Tiffany into the mix and you get to see him like interacting with someone about how he's going to kill this guy. And I like seeing that, like almost like it's like watching behind the scenes of what Chucky would do by himself. So I like that. Although I do think Tiffany chooses a very risky, not necessarily lethal method here.
Clearly not lethal,
Clearly not
but
lethal.
I was trying to understand exactly what happened and how this is working because so Kincaid gets into the back of this van to plant the
Hmm.
marijuana. He hears some laughter from the front seat. He
Hmm.
goes and investigates. He sees it's the doll, well, Tiffany,
Hmm.
sitting in the seat. And then he sees Chucky lying down on the ground on the passenger side. And then so he like yanks this. What does he do? Like what you got the nails
Physics
set
don't
up
make
here.
sense here. What it looks like, and I'm not saying that this makes sense by science rules, but what it looks like is they put themselves in that silly position of, her being on top of Chucky, getting him to lean over to look at the situation. They've got the nails lined up on the top of the glove compartment, I think.
Yeah.
And so when Chucky yanks open the glove compartment, what I think we're seeing is the nails flying off of it violently and aggressively into his face, into Kincaid's face. But it doesn't make sense because the force and the trajectory wouldn't be there. They would just fall to the floor.
Yeah, or at most just kind of scrape him up a little bit on his face if they all
They
went in
would
that
not
direction.
launch. Yeah, they would not launch that way. So it really doesn't make sense. But it is fun to watch.
So they
Yeah.
think Kincaid's dead. They throw his body in this chest that's inside the van,
Mhm.
inside this chest that's inside this van, which good for them for not putting anything else in there or thinking to use it for storage for anything else.
It just
I,
happens to be empty.
yeah, but I guess they're not strong enough to drag his body out of the van and dump it
No.
somewhere. And they didn't have the time to do
Yeah, they
it.
had to kind of roll it in there.
So it worked. Um, not knowing anything, Jesse and Jade climb into this van
Hmm.
and they're on their way.
With her hair done, that always bothered me that she like blew out her hair. I'm like, really? Your uncle's supposed to show up any minute and you had time to pack your bags, get changed into a cute outfit, tie that scarf around your neck. She
Yeah.
accessorized and she blew out her hair. Like that would have taken an hour probably. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Well, it didn't matter, right? Because Kincaid's dead. So maybe
Yeah,
they're just like, hey,
he's not
once
home
he's like,
yet. Let me just take my time.
take my sweet ass time. So they're on their way, but of course they don't make it very far because Kincaid probably already told Needle knows what the plan was. Like, hey, I'm gonna plant some shit on this car. Go and pull them over. So he does pull them over a little immediately. Outside of like, I don't know what this place is. This like market that's also like a
A
party
burger
scene,
and a burger
burger joint.
stand. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So he pulls them over and they make a scene, where she does threaten to vaporize him. You're like,
That is white woman
okay,
behavior right there because nobody is throwing punches at a cop except for a
getting
white
away with
woman.
it. Yeah. So she asks for mercy, right? But he's just like, money's too good. Sorry.
Yeah. I like that
Fuck
he's
you.
honest at least.
He's like, look,
Not
uh,
personal.
cops are paid a shit ton now, but maybe not in 1998. I don't know. But
Mhm.
he's probably just like, hey, look, I can be bought. Like, whatever. Like, and also, fuck you, little kids.
Yeah. He doesn't give a shit about them. Get
It's
that
not like I'm
paper.
stealing evidence, and fucking selling it to somebody. I'm just fucking
Yeah.
helping out the chief, go after some vagabond, whatever.
Mhm.
So he searches the van, of course, finds the weed, minus what Chucky had smoked at this point.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't like. I was thinking he was gonna come in and like smell it, because like
Yeah, be
Chucky's just
like,
sitting there.
damn, they really do
Yeah,
have weed in here.
I wonder how good it is. It's weed quality's come a long way.
Yeah, oof,
And
that was a long time ago.
do you think just some random ass fucking like baggy of shit that John Ritter had? Do you think he was gonna waste the good stuff
No,
planting
it's
it on them?
old from the evidence room. Like he just pulled that shit out. Who knows
Yeah.
how dry that shit is?
So Needle Nose is investigating this van, of course, finds the weed. Jesse's like, this is bullshit, dude. You fucking planted this. Um, Chucky's getting real impatient here, being like, look, I don't have time for all of this. Tiffany, why did you pick this guy of all fucking guys to
Yeah.
be our delivery guy? Because he is constantly getting slowed down by bullshit.
By
And now,
cops too.
yeah, and like now this is the third cop we're gonna kill in
Hmm.
this movie. Um, Needle Nose is back in his squad car, calling it in. Chucky runs out of the van,
I love his
grabs
little
like a,
crawl.
I love that. Grabs like a rag or a t-shirt or something, sticks it inside the gas tank inside this
Hmm.
car, lights it on fire, goes about his merry way.
I like that Needle Nose gets to see Chucky and Tiffany wave before he blows up. That's pretty fun. That's the last thing he sees.
I would have been so mad if like I was a victim in one of these movies and like I didn't at least just get to see Chucky once, like do his thing. I
Yeah,
feel like I'd
yeah.
be sold short if I was like killed like
I want
from
a
behind.
one-liner. Yeah.
Yeah. I, you know what? If I'm gonna die and if Chucky's gonna kill me, I feel like I deserve a one-liner,
Yeah.
but
I'd be like, okay, good one.
good one, but and then I blow up or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, but then maybe that's presumptuous of me. I don't know. Do I feel like I'm entitled to that? I don't know.
Do
A little
you?
bit. Hmm. Jesse and Jade, who and Jade just said, I want you vaporized, which is pretty close to what happened. Um,
Pretty incriminating.
we need to get the fuck out of here. I like how Jade walks out. She's
Hmm.
like, "What the fuck did you do?" And then Jesse's like, "Where the fuck have you been? What did you do?" And she's like, "Well, I've got groceries, dude. Come on. So please be cool." But then you've
Yeah.
got other people pointing at Jade, being like, "That's her. That's the fucking lady. She was yelling shit.
She
Now
was
he's dead."
literally just threatening that cop.
Yeah. So they hop in the van and they just fucking bail. They panic. They bail.
Hmm.
Um. Now, I like this dynamic between the two of them here, where they both start to suspect each other of
Yeah.
killing
It's
everyone so
funny.
far.
It's funny because I agree. In the past, that used to bother me, but now it totally makes sense that they would be interacting that way. Like if you're with, on a road trip with someone and bodies just keep dropping around you, you would start to kind of think like, was there something I don't know about this person? Like we don't know how long they've been dating, anything like that. So I like their suspicion towards each other. And meanwhile, Chucky and Tiffany are just like laughing full volume in the background. I'm like, can you all keep it down? Like, be careful.
Yeah,
They talk a
they
lot too.
they go a long way before just kind of being out, but
Hmm.
it's not like they try very hard up until
No.
that point to be
I
super
figure they're
secret.
like, if we get caught, we'll just hold them at gunpoint. We've got a cop in here now.
David calls, is like, "Hey, y'all, again, I'm watching the news. Uh, so there's two dead cops, and also Kincaid is missing. So I don't know if y'all have fucking
Mm,
seen him. Um, they think it's you both.
yeah.
So what's going on?"
I'm surprised at how upset Jade is by that news that he's missing. Like the way that she says, what? Like when she learns that he's missing, she's really concerned. And I'd be like, am I free?
Yeah, like I would be like, no, but then also like, ooh,
Yeah. You were
okay,
about to plant drugs on my boyfriend. That's fucked.
super fucked. Um, but they're still pretty traumatized by all this now, knowing
Hmm.
that they are fugitives. Uh, David told them, I guess they're planning, stops at like all the borders,
Hmm.
which I mean, the only border I think would really matter at this point would be the Canadian one, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Because
I
they go
think
to
at that point,
Niagara, don't they?
yeah, I
Hmm.
think at that point, I don't know. I would be tempted to say, fuck the other $500. Let's go somewhere else,
Yeah,
you know,
I agree. If you were in that hot of water.
right? But
Hmm.
also, bad person to piss off would be Tiffany, though. So
Yeah.
he wouldn't know that. Um, so they go and take a stop at Niagara Falls on the way, which I mean, is that on the way between New York and Jersey? I don't think it is. I think they're taking a
It's,
pretty,
they're taking a detour for sure.
pretty big detour.
Hmm.
Um, But I think this was because maybe this was just part of his plan. Because it seems like he was like, no, my whole plan, like on the car ride over here, was I'm gonna marry her, or I'm gonna pick her up,
Hmm.
I'm gonna marry her. And I think he had booked the chapel in this hotel room, because why else would they be there and do the whole wedding thing? I think he
I
already
guess
had this
that's
stuff planned
true.
out.
Yeah. And he did ask her and she said yes.
And he's like, okay, good, because I already booked everything on
Yeah.
my car cell phone on the way here.
Yeah.
So
With this
good, thank you.
$500 that's gonna get us a hotel, gas, food for the road trip, the wedding, the marriage certificate. Like,
I'd be like,
how long is this $500 gonna go?
we only have $500 between the two of us, and you're gonna waste it on this fucking honeymoon suite with this
Yeah.
waterbed? Get out of
Yeah.
here. I mean, romantic.
Waterbeds are so fun though.
Yeah, that's fair. And he's like, hey, look, we're already on our way. I know, yes, some people are dead. Yes, sure. The police are looking after for us. Sure. Let's just go ahead and get married. We'll
Yeah.
just go on
But
with
you
the
said
plan.
yes.
You said yes. And then she's like, fuck, I said yes. And it is the most uncomfortable wedding ceremony.
It really is. You like it feels like they're not going to go through with it. It's so awkward.
Yeah, like they really look upset to be there right now.
Yeah.
You'd think you could be like, okay, let's just put this part on hold,
Yeah.
right?
let's just be engaged for a while. Long
Yeah.
engagement while we figure out who's killing everybody.
Yeah. So they get married,
Hmm.
and then have this honeymoon suite, right? With this waterbed and all this shit. Where they're just sitting and watching again the news where they're
Hmm.
talking about, you know, calling them the who, like the Bonnie and Clyde or the whoever else.
Yeah.
Actually, before we get there,
Yeah,
actually,
while
well,
they're while they're
and
getting
at the set.
married. You forgot about all that.
Yeah. While they're getting married, though, having the super uncomfortable ceremony, you see some kind of a sweet moment between
Little
Chucky and
flirt.
Tiffany. A
Hmm.
little flirt, like a little bit of just like, ha, the silliest circumstances we find ourselves in, huh?
Yeah.
Look at us.
Yeah. It's like I always wanted to travel. And I do love hearing them laugh together,
Yeah,
Jennifer Tilly and Brad Dourif, because they both have such good laughs. And it's really cute. And you get Chucky's little fist pump too,
yeah,
which is really cute as well.
yeah. He puts on very 1998 as
Yeah.
a ska defender. He puts on the radio and it's like ska. And he's like, oh
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Music's gone to shit.
And then puts on some White Zombie. Love it.
Yeah.
Um, and forgot what I was gonna say. One second. And yeah, you have this like kind of like almost, dare I say, kind of sweet, tender moment between the two of them where
Yeah.
like Chucky's like, maybe I do like this woman. Maybe,
Yeah.
you know, hmm, yeah, maybe there's something there, right?
Hmm. And she got to see him blow up that cop and was pretty excited by that too. So that also helped
Yeah,
fuel the fire, so to speak.
there you go. Um, of course, the sweet moment is short-lived because Kincaid is still alive
No
and pops
shit. He just
out.
has nails in his face. Like, come on, guys. Amateur
Sc-
hour.
I love this where he just starts screaming, looks at her, starts screaming, looks at him. They all start screaming.
I do love that moment. It's that like that shit's funny.
Yeah. Chucky grabs a knife, fucking jumps on him and just stabs the shit out of him.
Hmm.
Hey, look, it's a classic,
The
right? Can't ruin a
classic.
classic.
Yep.
So just kill the shit out of him. So he's officially dead now.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Kincaid. So now they are at the honeymoon suite,
Hmm.
not making use of that waterbed.
No.
Um, Watching that shitty TV. Is that the best TV you have for this honeymoon suite?
I know it is a really shitty TV. Like even for 1998, like anyone who's watching this now, like that's not what the hotel TVs looked like.
Yeah.
Um, and I mean, I'm sure they paid a decent amount for that room. And you know what? There's always, even in a time of crisis and murder and road trips, like you just got married. Like, you need to fuck on that waterbed. I'm really disappointed that they're just like not even considering it. Like, do it out of stress, even.
She's willing to marry him,
Yeah.
you
But you're not
know?
gonna fuck him
He's
on
willing
that
to marry
waterbed?
her.
Oh,
Yeah.
what a waste.
So before they can even do that,
Here we go.
again, these side characters, I don't know if we even get their names. This other married couple who's much older, like they're in their 30s.
Hmm.
They come in, we just got married too. How about we all fuck together? Let's do that. What do you think?
Yeah. They do
Um,
have names, Russ and Diane.
well, to
They
Russ
say,
and
and I think they
Diane,
say their names too.
I think they do too. Now that you mention it. So of course they're like, yeah, no thanks. We can't say why. I mean, I think they're allowed to just say no because no thanks, we're
Yeah.
monogamous.
Yeah.
If he wasn't going to go out for drinks with Jennifer Tilly, he's certainly not going to fuck around with this.
No, absolutely not. This like older couple that's trying to swing. I mean, obviously they're there for other reasons, but I I would also pass on Russ and what was it? Russ and Diane. Yeah.
Yeah. So these characters are literally on the second they burst through the door, they're here to be murdered.
Oh, for sure. Because we needed a kill.
Immediately in the next scene, Tiffany looks at the ring on Diane's finger and is just like, bitch, you don't deserve that.
Well, she stole Jesse's wallet too. So she's got his money.
Oh,
She's got his money, and they need that to get to Hackensack, New Jersey. And, you know, doesn't matter if you're a serial killer, you still have some sort of moral compass. And Tiffany's like, what the fuck? Like, she's pissed that she stole that wallet.
I love that.
So
And
she says, thieving slut.
so over now in the next room where you've got Russ and Diane. I'm glad I know their names now. Um, Getting busy on the waterbed. Someone's making use of a waterbed in this motel, I
Their
suppose.
their moans and laughs are so unsexy.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I would
Yeah.
imagine, like, just, yeah, like, Ronnie, you just telling those actors, like, just
Just
fucking
ham it up.
ham it up, have fun with this. We're in a killer
Yeah.
doll movie. Go nuts.
Hmm.
Um, Tiffany grabs a champagne bottle. Above this waterbed is a mirrored ceiling.
Another thing we wasted. Well, not Russ
Yeah.
and Diane, but
Fucking Tiffany grabs that bottle of champagne. I like that they see, I think because I think they're about to do missionary, I think. So
hmm
Diane sees the mirror, sees on the side Tiffany standing there with the
hmm
bottle of champagne, doesn't even get a chance to fucking react. She
Yeah.
throws the champagne bottle up, ruins a great bottle of champagne, and then
And the mirror.
also and the mirror. So all the shards of that, all the glass come down. Again, would it kill them? No.
It might not, unless it
Or
hit, if it hit a major artery or like their neck or maybe in your eye or something like that, yes, but it doesn't feel super lethal. I do like the angle that you get on this kill because you're looking at it from the mirror in the
yeah,
beginning, which is really fun.
Chucky sees this, Natalie, and this turns him on.
Oh, he is love struck.
He's like, why? That was You fucking did that, Tiff? That was beautiful.
Yeah, he's like in amazement. And it is
I
shot nicely.
I love you.
Yeah,
And he's had a change of heart. He's like,
yeah.
maybe we were meant to be. Maybe you are
Hmm.
the love of my life, Tiff, and I'm sorry I did not do anything earlier. I don't know. Pulls
He gives a
the
whole cute
ring.
speech.
I love it. Pulls the ring off the severed finger of Diane.
I love that he has to bite it off
Yeah.
because it won't come off. That's
Has to
really
chew
good.
on it a little bit.
Yeah, that shit's
I
funny.
love that. And says, hey, will you marry me, Tiff? She says yes.
Of course.
Good for her, because the infatuation's been building, right? The love is rekindled.
Mhm.
Um, she says yes, and Chucky's like, okay, good. Let's consummate this thing. Let's go. Because she starts, it's gross. She starts crying, and she's like, hold on, does everything get moist? Is all the plumbing good down here? I don't know. I guess I don't know. I don't think it makes me a perv, but I would think within like the first like hour of me turning into a doll, I'd check.
Oh, absolutely. I would check immediately that
I
ever
know.
like
Yeah.
what everything was doing. Like I would have to check immediate like that wedding dress would have come off real quick. I would have been like, I need to see what is anatomically correct here because Barbies don't have shit going on downstairs and they have no nipples. So I'd be a little scared.
And then Chucky has a dick now.
Love
Um,
that for him. Well,
yeah,
it's never come up. Like he's not talking about his dick with the little boys, so that's a good thing.
that's good. Yeah, that's good that
Yeah,
that didn't come up around a little
exactly.
boy. That's fair. Um, and then this fucking sex scene.
Ah, it's so good.
This is before Team America World Police, which also had a
Hmm.
puppet sex scene,
Yeah.
which takes it an extra step further. But I really think the can of worms has been opened, like with this scene here when Jesus. Chucky, do you have a rubber? Tiff, I'm all rubber.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. So not nearly as steamy as what's going on in that room. Back
No.
over, we see Jesse and Jade. They're both pretty panicked. Jesse's like, I need to go out for some fresh air. I'll be back. Jade, meanwhile, calls David, being like, I think Jesse is fucking killing all these people. What do I do?
Hmm.
David's like, yeah, I mean, you should probably go to the police if you
Yeah,
really think that
he's
you're
giving them
innocent.
the best advice. He's like, just go to the police. Like, because now they're not in Warren's jurisdiction either.
Yeah, right.
So at least they've
Or
got that, you know?
or maybe just try to go to Canada and be like, hey, Canadians, help us, please. Like, let's
Yeah,
let's
you're nice up here, right?
right. Um, David's like, hold on, I got someone on the other line. And it's Jesse being like, hey man, I think Jade's a serial killer. What do I do?
Yeah.
I think she's a mass murderer, and he's like he's also kind of like the Randy of the movie sometimes because he's like no multiple murders. A mass murder would be a lot of deaths in the same place. Multiple
Hmm.
murders means sequentially. Um, and he's like, hey, how about you go to the police? And he's like, I don't know, because they're both like it's so dumb because they're both like, yeah, I think this other person is killing someone or killing other people, but I'm in love with them. So what am I supposed to do? And
Hmm.
David's like, go to the police.
Like, I don't know how many more ways I can say this. Should we do a three-way call? Like, that used to be a thing.
Yeah,
And then we can just talk about going to the police together.
love that. David, the sensible one.
Yes.
Now, they need to get out of that place pretty quick because the housekeeper, played by
Kathy,
Kathy
Kathy
Najimy,
Najimy. I know. I'm
love
so happy
her.
to see her. Oh, she's so cute. And just the way she's playing it too, she's like, "Ooh, somebody had a wild night."
Right. Um, my best guess would be why she would be in this movie is well, one, because she's awesome. And then two, David Kirshner, the producer of this movie, also produced Hocus Pocus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if I wonder if he was like, "Hey, I'd love to have just a memorable face
Little
in this scene.
cameo. Yeah.
Yeah, you want to do this?" Or she's shooting something next door. I don't know. I
Mhm.
think King of the Hill has started at this point too, which is great. Fucking industry legend. Did we call her that last time?
Yeah, we did for Hocus Pocus. She's already
Okay.
got industry legend status.
Did we give all three of them industry legends? I can't
I think
remember.
so.
Good for
Yeah,
them.
that sounds right.
Yeah, that sounds right. Um, so she starts screaming. They're like, up again,
We gotta get out of here.
panic, gotta get the fuck out of here. Let's go. And I like this idea of this road trip and I like going from like set piece to set piece to set
Hmm.
piece. And then something crazy happens and they're like, "Oh, we gotta go. Let's go."
Yeah,
Because that's enough reason to leave, I would think.
yeah.
Now before they leave this time, David arrives and he's like, "Hey guys,
He's like just popping in to check in on you. Drove all the way to
yeah,
Niagara.
yeah, just seeing what the fuck is
He's a
going
good
on."
friend.
He is a good friend. And, he says,
Mhm.
he's like, hey, look, I talked to you both separately. You both seem really convinced that the other person is the serial killer, which makes me believe that neither of you are serial killers.
Hmm.
What the fuck is that smell?
Yeah. I know. I like his line though. I think the only line I don't like of David's is he goes, "Pooh, something really stinks in here."
Poo poo. Yeah.
Yeah, poo.
Uh, he also, like, he's like, hey, look, these people are dead. Kincaid's missing. And then Jade's like, oh, well, wait, he's only missing? And then David's like, yeah. So it's not a bad guess if you don't
Yeah.
believe in killer possessed dolls. It's like, look, who who wants to sabotage you all more than anyone
Hmm.
else?
Yeah, that's actually a really good guess.
Yeah. So, and it is a good guess until he again is just like, what the fuck is that smell? PU.
Yes.
Um, turns and then sees a little bit of blood coming out
Oh.
of that box that Kincaid's body was in.
Hmm.
He opens it up a little bit. He's like, oh fuck.
They did do it.
They did do it. Jesus Christ. And now David's like, fuck, it's the both of them. God
Hmm.
damn. Um, glad that the gun was still in his
I
holster.
know. You'd think that. Chucky and Tiffany would have snatched that up real quick.
especially because they'd been collecting the guns
Hmm.
from other because they have guns too,
Yeah.
right? So David's like, y'all need to pull the fuck over right the fuck now. Pulls the gun on them. He jumps out of the car. They're just like, David, what the fuck? What the fuck? It's not us. It's not us. They see the body. They're like, oh shit. We've been driving around
Hmm.
with this body the whole fucking time. Um, Everyone's screaming at each other. At this point, fucking Chucky and Tiffany are just like, okay,
That's enough.
wrap. That's
Yeah.
enough. We're done. Okay, everybody. Hey, we're fucking dolls.
And
We're
there's a
alive.
cop on the way because a cop across
Yeah,
the way sees the commotion and sees David with a gun.
right.
Hmm.
Um, they pop up. They draw guns on everybody.
I love
That
it.
startles David. He stumbles into the fucking lane in the
Very
fucking
final
freeway.
destination for David.
And I've mentioned this kill before. I forget which episode it was in, but I really love a good body explode situation.
Hmm.
And this is a good one.
It is
I
a
would
good
have
one.
liked a different angle, like from the truck coming towards us and smashing. I want to see the whole body fly over. But you
Yeah,
do
that
get
probably would
enough,
have cost a little bit more to do.
but you do get enough pieces exploding and splattering all over the place.
Yeah. And Jake
Uh,
looks pretty traumatized.
Pretty much. Yeah, a little bit. Um, he's dead. Oh,
Hmm.
goodbye, David. I liked you.
Yeah, that stinks. Because you have Warren, who was a good villain, and he's gone too soon. And then you've got David, who was a good friend, and he gets smushed.
Yeah, yeah, he does.
Yeah.
So,
And you can't pick that as your favorite kill because it wasn't by the hands of Chucky and Tiffany, technically. Just so you know.
yeah, he got pet cemeteried.
You
Yeah.
did. Final
Just
Destination, Pet Cemetery, whatever you want to call it.
so the cat is pretty much out of the proverbial bag at this point.
Mhm.
Jesse and Jade escape with the dolls on the radio, I guess, because again, really convenient news reports showing up on the
I mean, this is
radio.
a big deal. It's probably on the news and the radio constantly, like on
Yeah,
rotation.
having this manhunt going
Yes.
for however long. Um, and yeah, people get really upset when you kill cops, especially multiple
Yeah.
ones. So
Yeah.
it's a whole
So they're
thing.
watching these two.
There's this new twist where they say at these crime scenes, um, we've been finding the fingerprints of Charles Lee Ray.
The serial killer who's been dead for 10 fucking years.
Natalie, how does that work? Do you think his fingerprints, like a small teeny version of him, are on Chucky's little fingers?
Oh,
How
I
does that
didn't think
work?
about that. I didn't think about the size difference. Yeah, I guess so.
He's everyone's like, y'all, a baby Charles Lee Ray.
None
Um,
of this makes sense. They're like, how do we solve this fucking case?
that would have been funnier if they said, a toddler Charles Lee Ray, his fingerprints have been found. So that's
Oh,
strange.
his little baby
And
fingers. Because they'd be tiny. Like Chucky's hands are quite petite,
yeah, so just enough, big enough to grab a knife, but
just big
not
enough.
enough to, yeah, like handle like an automobile or anything.
No.
Um, so I guess because of this, they want the whoever they is, want
The
to
authorities.
exhume Charles Lee Ray's body to make sure
Hmm.
he's still in there.
Yeah.
Um,
Just it
because
doesn't super make sense.
I thought we were pretty confident that at least the human Charles Lee Ray was dead and has been for a long time, but
Oh,
I don't
you
know,
know
maybe not.
what they could be doing is exhuming the body and checking his teeth like for dental to make sure that it's actually him that's buried and he didn't fake his death or, anything like that. That could be why.
Maybe. But
I mean, at that
really,
point, anything's possible if they're finding his fingerprints popping up.
really, it's just a convenient way to get some more urgency. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
these set pieces, they've been fine. We've been having some good laughs, some good
Yeah.
times. We all got married. Love that. That's
Yeah.
wild for us.
Yeah.
And but we do need to, we need to go with plan A. We need to keep our eyes on the prize here
Yeah.
and get to
It
Hackensack.
it's also very convenient because it's a nice way for the grave to already just be dug up. Like nobody has to sit with a shovel and dig 6 feet into the ground.
Yeah, the shovels are primarily reserved for fighting in
Yes.
this movie,
Yes.
not so much for digging.
Hmm.
Chucky's like, we need to ditch this van and let's upgrade. Come on, let's get some nicer digs on the way. So they steal an RV, and then continue on their way, the final stretch to
Yeah.
New Jersey.
I love that they just like he declares that they need a new vehicle, and then the next shot is them on the freeway or the highway in the RV. So you don't need the whole story. They kind of just paint the picture for you by seeing the dead couple in the
Right.
closet. I really think that's fun, like because you could just imagine this whole scene playing out where Jesse and Jade have to like pull over or like trick this old couple into pulling over on the side of the road to help them or something, and then they murder them. Like I've come up with so many different scenarios in my head of how that all played out, and they're all fantastic.
Jesse's driving the car. Jade is tied up. Chucky's sitting shotgun,
Mhm.
and Tiffany's baking cookies. She's
Yeah.
like, she references Martha Stewart quite a bit. And she's like,
Yeah, it's very cute.
I'm really a little domestic like Martha Stewart.
Hmm.
This is when Martha Stewart was still like America's grandma, um,
Yes, yes.
before she got real hard and real cool.
Yeah. And the other that one of the things that I like most about this scene here is Tiffany is doing Jade's hair and makeup and pretty much just dressing her to be Tiffany so that when she switches into her body, she's already ready to go. One, I love that for her. I love that she's like, no, her face is going to be beat to the gods, ready for me to be in there. Like, I can't be looking haggard. And she also is treating her like a doll. Like,
Yeah,
she's dressing her up like how she wants her to look. So I also think that's kind of funny. A doll dressing up a human woman is kind of fun.
I I don't know why I didn't think of that, but I love that.
Yeah, it's fun.
So this is this honestly, this moment here is probably the smartest that Jesse and Jade
Hmm.
are at this point because they fuck with them psychologically, right? They're
Yeah.
like, let's see if we can get in a little. We see some marital strife going on here, and we see some domestic disputes between these two. Let's see if we can use that to our advantage. You
Hmm.
know, just being like, man, fuck Chucky, shit, she doesn't clean up after herself. While Jade's like, can't even do the fucking dishes. Remember what your mom told you?
Yeah, like you've been cooking this whole time for him.
Terrible. So this causes them to start arguing. This fight escalates pretty quick, ends up with the RV going off the side of the road and crashing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I looked down and looked up. I can't remember exactly. I don't know if you see her get into the oven.
Yeah, so Jade, the oven's open from
Yeah,
Tiffany having baked, and Jade kicks her
kicks her
into
in.
the
That's
oven.
it.
Yeah, and Chucky does dramatically yell out no when that happens. Like he's real upset.
Well, because he's like, you don't have that many options,
Yeah.
um, for doll brides that are also, living. So I get that.
Yeah, yeah.
So the RV goes off the side of the road, it crashes. Um, Everyone comes to, of course, you see like the leaking gasoline and the wires and shit. So you know
Hmm.
that the shit's gonna blow at any
Oh
moment.
yeah.
Before Jade can get free, you have Tiffany, who is just burnt to a fucking crisp.
Oh, she looks
Just,
great.
oh yeah, just burst out of the oven. She's pissed.
Her screaming is really good too. Like Jennifer Tilly really gives Brad Dourif a run for his money on the doll screams.
Yeah. Jade is able to escape from this, but like immediately gets stopped and held up by Chucky, who has a gun and says, "We need to fucking finish this. We'll finish it on foot. We're very close. Get me to this fucking cemetery."
Hmm.
I love. It just reminds me. The shot is almost in every movie where Chucky has someone hostage, whether with a knife or a gun,
Yes,
and
and they're
there's a
holding
shot
him,
and they just carry him like a little
a
baby
little
and
baby.
And there's always this shot of just like the actor just running, you know,
I
just
love
with
it.
this little doll.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be so threatening. I love that. Um, Jesse's not far behind. He thinks about killing Tiffany right there. He gets
Hmm.
the gun from her. Um, or before she's able to grab it, he gets a gun that'd fallen out of the RV. And then he just grabs her by the hair and it's just like, all right, maybe I'm gonna keep you alive for a quick
Yeah.
second. I'm
Use
gonna
her for
chase after them.
leverage. Hmm.
Yeah, let's see if we can do a little hostage negotiation.
Hmm.
So we're almost there, Natalie. We're here at Charles Lee Ray's grave in Hackensack, New Jersey.
Love
Here we
that.
are. We finally made it. Chucky demands that Jade get in there, open up that casket, get that amulet, which she does, and throws it back to him.
Hmm.
And he's got it. He's like, fuck, okay, thank you. That's all I needed. I
Yeah.
appreciate you.
And now we're going to
Um,
steal your bodies.
now I'm gonna steal your bodies. Um, now before they can do that, Jesse does arrive with Tiffany. Chucky does show some like, hey, what the fuck? What are you doing with her? You
Hmm.
know? And they do a little bit of a hostage negotiation. You have this weird kind of like long extended shot of the both of them
Oh my
walking
God, they
towards each
walk
other.
so slowly and so far.
Yeah, it's like you don't have to keep up with like the doll's walking pace. You don't have to
Yeah.
slow down for the doll. I'd just say like just fucking go.
I would run.
Um, Tiffany makes her way to Chucky, but Chucky is like, get the fuck out of my way. I think he pushes her over. Um,
Yeah, she also like Tiffany's so delusional. She makes a comment. She says, "Why can't I ever get it on with the real good guys?" And I'm like, cute because he's a good guy doll.
love it.
But also, like, if you're specifically dating only serial killers, it's probably, you're probably not going to find a real sweetheart. But I do like when Chucky pushes her down, he goes, ugh, because of the way she looks. He's so fucking shallow.
Terrible, man. I mean, she's not looking great. So I
No,
get
no,
it.
she looks
But
horrendous.
you don't have to say anything. Get the fuck out of
Yeah,
here.
just she's gonna be in a brand new body soon.
So these teenagers are dumb. They're in their hugging embrace, and Chucky just grabs a knife and just like throws it into Jesse's back.
Yeah, nice shot.
And I guess they both allow for Chucky to tie them up, both.
He's probably holding the gun at Jesse and Jade at that point because if he knocked down Jesse, Jesse was holding the gun, so that's his opportunity to snatch that up and hold them at gunpoint again.
Gosh, I mean, at this point, I'm just like, I don't know. I'll take my chances and just kick that doll in the face and just,
Yeah, like they're gonna take your bodies anyway. Like you're gonna be gone, so you might as well try to just fight it out.
right? So he ties them up pretty easily, like I said, and now he's doing the Damballa chant on both of
Hmm.
them. Tiffany, feeling literally pushed to the side here, has another change of heart.
Hmm.
Maybe she was like, maybe I was right the first time. Or, well, second time rather,
Yeah.
where this dude's a piece of shit.
Hmm.
Love will not set you free. Love is a prison. And I fucking hate you.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna fucking kill you. Um, she goes to embrace Chucky, grabs his knife, and just fucking stabs him.
Mm.
Which of course pisses him off, but
Oh
she
yeah.
says, and she has this whole thing where she's like, maybe we deserve to be dead. We deserve each other
Yeah.
and we deserve to be in hell.
She
Which
says the line from Bride of Frankenstein. She just says
right.
we belong dead.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, it's so sweet.
Yeah.
Um,
So sweet, so sad.
you have this fight between them. You've got this great aerial shot
I love the shovel fight.
of the shovel fight between love a good shovel fight, right?
Yeah, shovel fight is great. And yeah, because you get one in Death Becomes Her too.
Mm-hmm.
But the shot's really great, but also it like sadly enough, the actor that plays Chucky in this scene and any scenes that Chucky's had a body double in Child's Play 1, 2, and 3 actually just passed away, Ed Gale.
To Ed Gale. Rest in
Yeah.
peace.
So RIP to him. But yeah, he's the actor that plays Chucky's body double when he's not the animatronic doll, or he was until this film.
I like that they still do that, or at least they were up until that point.
Hmm.
Um, Putting Ed Gale like in the costume and like having them
Yeah.
like run around. It's,
Yeah.
because that's how you get like really the most realistic motion out of this
Hmm.
character,
For
right?
sure.
The puppetry's gone a long way.
Yeah.
But still has its limitations, of course.
Hmm.
So they trade blows. Chucky eventually gets the upper hand and puts a knife right through Tiffany.
Hmm. Not surprised.
Yeah. And she falls to the ground. You think she's dead.
Hmm.
Jesse, sensing all this distraction, and by the way, they didn't take the knife that I guess Katherine Heigl had off of her. Um, Starts cutting the rope, so they're able to get free. Jesse runs, grabs a shovel, just gets Chucky from the side and
Yeah.
yeah, just fucking just hits him right into uh the grave,
Which is
which is
when you get Brad Dourif's like scream work. Ah, when he screams as Chucky and he's yelling and he's pissed. Oh my gosh, it's some of my favorite things in a film
yeah,
ever.
it's so good. I do like when Chucky lands on Charles Lee Ray's body and has that like like
Yeah.
fucking,
It's like grossed out.
and he's pissed and he's just running around in circles in that grave being like, let me out, let me out, let me
Stabbing. I
out,
like he's
motherfucker.
stabbing the dirt.
I love that. um Now there's a detective that shows up. This also happens. So there was a detective that's, I guess, been following this whole thing. I think he's only
Hmm.
shown up like on TV at this point, or maybe
Yeah.
he shows up like at the crime scene afterwards. I forget exactly, but he does show up. It
Yeah.
catches up with him, just him singularly, right?
Yeah. Even though this is a
Um,
huge case.
and fucking finds, and I don't know how he knew that they were on their way to Hackensack, New Jersey.
Hmm.
Or well, no, I guess they probably, yeah, someone was showing up and they seen that connection, right? 'Cause they were fighting Charles Lee Ray's Prince, so never mind.
Oh
But
yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
he looks and he's like, "Oh, what the fuck?" And just sees this little doll just running around in circles,
Yeah. I
screaming
I
and shit.
love I love that he gets to see Chucky alive in the grave.
Yeah. Um, the detective just lets Jade just show up, grab his gun, and just shoots Chucky to death.
Again, white woman behavior. She snatched that gun from that detective.
I know, I know. And I think she yells like, "Don't move," and then,
Yeah.
which is not a good line.
Yeah. And Chucky makes his declaration of coming back because that's how you got to do it. And of course,
Boy,
Brad Dourif delivers those types of lines so well.
so good. He'll be back, but boy, death is a bitch.
Yeah.
She shoots him dead. Chucky's dead. Um, of all the movies, I think this is the weakest Chucky
Oh,
death.
it's it's real weak. It does leave
A
a bad taste
gun?
in my mouth.
Really?
Like he gets shot, what, twice?
Yeah, get
And
the
we've
fuck out of
seen
here.
Chucky get shot like 10, 15 times and not be dead. Limbs popping off, shot in the head, and he's still fucking going around. So that
Yeah.
it feels pretty weak that that's what kills him.
So it does end well. You think it's going to end on kind of a, hmm, okay.
Yeah, and the detective's
Yeah.
just like, nah,
Womp womp.
Jesse and Jade are good. They didn't kill anybody. We don't need to
Yeah,
ask
he's
them any
like,
questions.
yeah, don't need to ask you all anything. You all can just hold hands and just go walk off into the woods, I
Yeah.
guess.
They have no car.
Okay. Yeah, good
Were
luck.
they waiting for him at his car? Like what's going on?
It looks like they just like walk like into the woods. Like
Yeah.
we're just gonna leave. Goodbye. And
Start
we
our
don't
new
see,
lives.
yeah, we don't see any more of them in this movie. The detective's like, he's calling it back up. He's like, yeah, I don't know if y'all are gonna fucking believe this. Uh, yeah, geez, this is gonna be real weird. Um, he's surveying the area and finds Tiffany's body, right?
Mhm.
All charred to shit, thinking she's dead. Pokes at her a little bit just to make sure, because
I like that. I like that he does that, but I mean, that's never a guarantee. Don't let your guard down.
100%. I would be poking her like with my gun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh,
Just so I can just pull that
It
trigger in
just, it's
case I need
like,
to.
yeah, pop, pop.
Um, Natalie, Tiffany's
Here it
not dead
comes.
just yet.
Uh-uh.
She sits up, she starts screaming, fucking from between her legs, Natalie. Blood spurts on this detective's face,
I love that. I love the vaginal blood just spurting on his face.
and a fucking baby,
A
a little
hideous little demon
hideous
creature
little
baby. Ugh.
sharp little teeth motherfucker.
Yeah, he's got teeth like Christopher Walken as the headless horseman in
Yeah,
Sleepy
yeah, he's like
Hollow.
he's a baby headless horseman and just and then just launches at this detective's face.
Yeah.
And that's our movie.
And that's yeah. I'm presuming he's dead.
Probably.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that baby seemed to have a hunger for flesh immediately. Um, oh my God, this movie, which yeah, I mean, hey, this will set us up pretty well for the next one,
Uh-huh.
Seed of Chucky.
Yeah,
But that's the end of our movie. Here we are.
it is. Yeah.
Did I forget anything?
No, that was a great run through. Excellent job.
Oof. Do what I can. Um, I'd love to hear some taglines.
All right. This movie has 7 taglines. They're actually pretty fun. I think this is where the taglines get kind of fun. I bet you
Okay.
know one of them. Do you know any of them?
Um, I think it's Chucky Gets Lucky.
Yes. So you got that
Yeah,
one. There's also this Halloween, Chucky Gets Lucky, because this came out in October.
love that.
So that's 2 of them. Then you've got Chucky found a lover of his own, which
Okay.
is kind of a little bit of a weaker one. I like this time Chucky has a playmate of his own.
That's better.
Yeah, that one's better. This time there's more to fear.
That's
It's
well, I
fine.
mean, okay, two dolls, but now I'm good.
Hmm. Here comes the bride. There goes everyone else.
That's better.
It's
That's
also kind of
better. That's
fun.
probably the second favorite.
This one's my favorite, and I don't think I'd ever heard this one before. This honeymoon's gonna be killer.
That's good too. That would
Yeah.
be
I always like a killer, like the use of killer that way.
that one, and Here Comes the Bride are tied for my second favorite. Chucky Gets Lucky is probably my first one.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, some fun taglines. Yeah.
So, do I want to do kills or quotes first?
We are going to do our favorite kill first. So you can only choose a Chucky or Tiffany kill. Only
Okay.
one.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
Just because I think it is iconic the way it is shot, and I want to go with a Tiffany kill. It's got to be her with the champagne bottle killing that couple, right?
Okay.
With that glass coming down.
Waterbed. It's really good.
It's perfect. Well, one, and also, right, you have that waterbed aesthetic. I love a good waterbed involvement, you know?
Hmm.
Um, and just that shot of her throwing it like that is just so etched into my brain
Yeah.
from this movie of just
I
like,
think
and
that
even just
shot
like
was in the trailer too.
probably just an
Yeah.
iconic shot of the series so far.
Hmm.
Um, and you know what? It got Chucky real excited, and it got me real excited too. Maybe that's it. I don't know, but that's mine. How about you?
Um, that one was almost my pick, but I do think I have to go with Tiffany's human Tiffany's death. Doll deaths don't count. When
Yeah.
Chucky kills human Tiffany in the bathtub, I really love. the set. I love the bathtub situation. I love the bubbles coming down and Chucky's like so proud of himself and the bubbles are all flying in the air. And Jennifer Tilly's electrocution acting is real fun. And her like final, like her eyes rolled back, just falling into the water is also really cool. So there's no blood in that death, which I think might, other than his suffocations and strangulations, that one is a bloodless death. But I just really, I think it's really like pretty, if that makes sense. Like it's kind of a almost the same as the one with the waterbed, but those are both really great. Yeah, that's my favorite.
Allegedly, originally, that was how the babysitter was going to die in the first Child's Play, was being electrocuted in the
Oh,
bathtub. So I'm glad Don Mancini held on to that and was like, no, this is too good. Too good.
he
You got to
does
use
that a
this.
lot. He keeps things in his back pocket for a little while and then he's like, okay, we're going to use this in this movie. And I think a lot of the time his choices on timing have been pretty correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if anyone is keeping track, if you exclude Chucky and Tiffany's death as dolls in this movie, the kill count has gone up to 9 kills for this film versus eight. Or, I'm sorry, seven in the last. So we went up two whole kills.
There you go.
Mhm. Yeah. Okay. What is your favorite Chucky quote for this movie?
As much as I hated Jade and her final thing, I do like, I'll be back. Boy, death is a bitch.
Yeah.
I love that.
That that was that was my first choice, and I had a feeling that you might pick that too. So I had
Mhm.
a backup. But I like the beginning. I like that Chucky makes that declaration of coming back so he can like solidify that he is immortal because he says, go ahead and shoot. I'll be back. I always come back. Like he's feeling real confident. But I like that he's like, yeah, but dying fucking just sucks.
Still fucking
Son of a
sucks. Yeah.
bitch. So my backup quote, he had a lot of good ones, but something about this one really like made me laugh this time because it felt very vulnerable from Chucky. Like he's not trying to be cool. He's just like, having a moment with Tiffany of real intimacy is when he says, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling like Pinocchio over here. Because he's a real boy. And he's saying he's got a boner. So that's fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
that was my
I'm
backup
sure
quote for
you
Chucky.
I'm sure you were chuckling at the Pinocchio boner line.
Yeah, would have
I
loved
love
to
that.
see maybe like a silhouette of it, like a shadow, some shadow work on the doll dick. That would have been fun.
Uh,
Am I asking for too much?
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't know.
you're like, yeah, you are asking for too much.
I feel like I went easy or went obvious with my Tiffany quote too.
Ooh, okay. What's your favorite Tiffany quote?
I just love, you know me, Chucky. I'll kill anybody, but I'll only sleep with someone I love. I love it.
That was also my pick for Tiffany, so I had a backup
Love
just in
that.
case. So my backup is actually the one that makes me laugh the most every time. She says, "You ever look at something and realize you're just sick to death of looking at it?" That's how I feel about that shit. When she's talking about Damien
Yeah.
in the trunk, I really like that line. All right, boo
Boo
score.
score. Okay, can you remind me what I gave the others?
Yeah, of course. Do you want me to list them in order of your ranking or in order of the films, just the order of the films?
Order of the films is fine.
Okay. You gave Child's Play a
Yeah.
4 boos. You gave Child's Play 2, 5 boos, because you gotta flatten them
Deserved.
down. And then Child's Play 3, 2 boos.
Okay.
Mhm.
You want me to go first with my boo score?
Yeah, you go first.
This movie is, I don't know. Gosh, it's hard.
It is like Pinocchio.
It's gosh. Oh my gosh, stop. You know what? You're right. So I'm gonna give it an extra boo. No, I'm kidding. It it is just so. like I don't know. I'm so nostalgic for this movie.
Hmm.
Um, this movie was really important to me. It sounds so
Yeah.
silly to say. Um, I love the style of this movie. I love the campiness. I am so excited about how that goes forward with the
Hmm.
series. Introducing Tiffany, like what a fucking MVP, right? God
Hmm.
damn. I like the kids better than I remembered.
Yeah.
Um,
Same.
especially the whole part about like just them suspecting each other. I think it's kind of fun. Yeah, sure, they're kind of boring. They don't get a whole lot to work with, but I do, and whatever, it's fine. They're serviceable. Um, because bringing Andy back over and over was just not, I
It would
just don't
get,
think it was going to work.
yeah, it would get tired.
Yeah, give us some time off from Andy. I'd love to see
Hmm.
Andy again,
Of
but
course.
you know, um, I, I am in a fucking pickle, Natalie,
I'm on the fence
because,
between my boo score too.
jeez. I struggle between a 4 and a 4.5 on this one.
Ooh.
This movie fucking rocks. I love it. I think that it really um gets it like the formula. We've got it. Y'all, it's just like, hey, I
Yeah.
don't I don't know if we can do better than this. I'm not sure. They might, but you have just a lot of Chucky. I love him having someone to play off of. So,
Hmm.
like you said, you like all of those moments that like just would
They
have
do it
happened off
so well.
screen.
Yeah.
Like now he gets to like have someone to explain his like process and
Hmm.
his thoughts, his hopes, his fears, his loves, his
Have
dreams.
you
I don't
have you
know.
ever seen the footage of Brad Dourif and Jennifer Tilly recording these lines? Like they're actually together in the room.
I love that.
And
Yeah.
it's so fun to watch because they're like Brad Dourif's fully acting out like as if he's Chucky. Like he's doing the hand gestures and everything, and it's real fun.
Certainly more sexual chemistry than Buzz and Woody, really. Um, speaking of famous 90s doll couples, um,
And Woody's. I'm
I'm
never
gonna
gonna
give
stop at the
this,
boner jokes.
I know. So I'm gonna give it 4 boos. This movie is fan fucking tastic. I love
Mhm.
this. It's like I was like another fourth entry. It's like Rocky 4, where it's like, is it the best one quality wise? I don't know, maybe, but also, is it just the most
It's a good
fucking
time.
bonkers fun situation? Yes,
Mhm.
it is. Um, so much fun. I love it. So I'll give it 4 boos. How about you?
Okay. I also have a great love for this movie, and I think it was just the perfect age for us to see it because the jokes landed enough. Like they got funnier as I got older, but they landed enough. I was old enough to get the sex jokes and like all of that. And Chucky was already so important to me. And he also scared the shit out of me as a child. So to see this other side of Chucky in a more comedic, way and a new face that he had that wasn't the one that was in my nightmares as a kid, it really gave me a new love for him. And it also really took something that was completely scary and went into the world that I love of horror comedy as well. So it just like it fused so many things together for me. So I have a lot of really fond memories of this movie. For a long time, I didn't like Jesse and Jade and I didn't enjoy them, but I actually did have a better time with them as characters this time around. And it felt like a fun watch. It's so rewatchable. I think anybody could enjoy this that likes horror comedy or that enjoys, doll movies, whatever you want to call it. I was between 3.5 and 4 boos, but 3.5 felt low. Like it doesn't feel like it was giving it enough. And as we were talking through it, and as I was taking my notes and I was like going through the movie, I was like, damn, I was like, I really love this movie. And I'll defend it to anybody who talks shit on it. So I'm also going to give it 4 boos.
Love that. I'm glad that you arrived at the right decision. You know,
You're like, don't sell this movie short.
I agree.
Okay.
S- How do we want to rank them?
So your current ranking is Child's Play 2, Child's Play, and then Child's Play 3, which is
All right.
also my current ranking without Bride of Chucky. So where do you want to land it?
Now, I know the challenge is that I gave 4 boos to both Child's Play and Bride of Chucky.
You did.
So here's how I'm going to rank them. Child's
Mm,
Play 2 at number 1.
okay.
Bride of Chucky is my second favorite.
Ooh, hot take.
Sorry, you add Tiffany. That's
I
my X
know, she's
factor.
so good.
Sorry. I love Chris Sarandon. I love your sweaters. But this one has dumber, sillier kills and more of them. And you've got Tiffany on board and you've got Jennifer Tilly. I'm sorry. So my second favorite is going to be Bride of Chucky, then
Okay.
Child's Play, and then Child's Play 3.
Okay. I will be honest, I did not see that coming, but it's good. But we did see Chucky coming.
Yeah.
Sorry. Don't worry, I'll stop for the next one. I promise.
Stop.
I'm sure there's no sex jokes to be had for the next movie. So,
Hope not.
um, I also had a really hard time with this. But for reference for everyone, because I did not share my previous boo scores, I gave Child's Play 5 boos. I also gave Child's Play 2 5 boos. I gave Bride of Chucky 4 boos and just now, and Child's Play 3 2.5 boos. So as much as I love this movie, and I enjoy watching it just as much as the other two, I think the other two are just scratching that like horror itch for me. And I just, like I said, it's the stuff that like was nightmare fuel for me as a kid. So it really holds a high place for
By
me.
the other two, do you mean the first two you're referring? Okay.
That I gave 5, I gave them 5 boos.
Yeah.
So I have my ranking at Child's Play 2, followed by Child's Play, then Bride of Chucky, then Child's Play 3.
We're not that far off.
No,
Oh, just swapping.
no, just a little swap.
Love that.
And we
Dang,
did it.
we did it. Y'all, if you have different rankings, if you have got different opinions about quotes, kills, hit us up. Put it in the
Or
Instagram.
if you love this franchise and you love Chucky and you're not a fan of this film, I would love to hear why because I know people are really it's quite half and half with Chucky fans that they
Yeah.
love this or don't. It has a 45% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 50% audience score. So 45% critic score
Gotta
and
double that at least.
yeah, it's really low. Double it, you're so stupid. It's really low for a movie that I think is just like really good fun. I feel like if you don't have a little bit of fun with this movie, you probably aren't a fan of horror comedy or just camp in general. Like if it kind of goes over your head. And it does have some low-hanging fruit for jokes and one-liners and the sex jokes and things like that. But that's what makes it so fun. Like it's not taking
I
itself too
agree.
seriously,
I love it.
which we love.
Okay, I think that's all I got. Anything else before we wrap this up?
No, that's it.
All right. Well, take care, everybody. Heidi ho, you fucks. And
Does he say Heidi ho, motherfucker, or something like that?
he doesn't. I don't know, but
He says something mean. Oh,
mm,
I'd watch what I say if I were you.
yeah.
That's pretty good.
Take care, everybody. 3, 2, 1. Ghost.
Thanks for listening to our episode on Bride of Chucky. If you enjoyed this episode, you can subscribe to our podcast and leave us a killer review on whichever platform you choose to listen. You can find us on Instagram at 321ghostpod and give us a follow. We would love to hear your favorite kills or quotes in the comments. Follow us on Letterboxd at 321ghostpod to see our boo scores on all of the movies we've covered so far. Next week, we're celebrating a special and spooky day with Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Thanks again for listening, and remember to always use a rubber. 3, 2, 1, ghost.